Yo, what's up everybody, it's me, Weeb here, back with another episode for What If Naruto Had Ultra Instinct Part 11. If you guys have not already, make sure to slap that subscribe button, like button, comment down below what you thought of the video, as well as hit that notification bell in case you want to see whenever I post any of my future videos. Thank you so much everybody for getting the channel to 9,000 subscribers. It's awesome. We're almost there. We are 1,000 subscribers away from getting to 10,000 subscribers, which is just crazy huge. I'm pretty excited, so I'm going to be posting lots of videos this month, hoping that we can get there before 2021. Anyway, let's just get into this part for What If Naruto Had Ultra Instinct. Both Naruto and Sasuke had been summoned by Fukasaku, the frog, the old frog that Jiraiya had with him along with his wife, who had both been helping Jiraiya by helping him with keeping in his imperfect sage mode before he died from his injuries. Anyway, Fukasaku would summon Naruto and Sasuke, with the two of them being sent off to go train to learn sage mode, to become a sage and learn sage jutsu. With Naruto being the one who had actually inherited the scroll of the Toad sages, which meant that Naruto would be, when he reverse summoned, would be sent back to the land of the Toads, not Miyaboku. Sasuke, on the other hand, would have actually learned the Falcon Summoning Jutsu scroll. With this meaning that Sasuke would, in fact, instead of going to either Mount Miyaboku or Ryuchi Cave or Shikotsu Forest, which are the three known sacred places that we know characters can learn sage mode, much like what I've done in the past with What If Naruto Was a Demigod, instead of this time, Sasuke would in fact be Sasuke would have his own training location, being the Junsuina Cliffs, which is where his reverse summoning would take him, where Sasuke would begin training to become a Falcon Sage. With Naruto, of course, going to Mount Miyaboku, and him curious as to where Sasuke had went, with the Toads now explained to him that Sasuke would be off on his own training with the Falcons, while the Toads would continue training Naruto. Naruto and Sasuke would now both be away from the village as they begin their training of Sage Mode. Focusing on Naruto's end first, Naruto would now begin his training. Just like Naruto did in the original, Naruto would be introduced to the oil that Mount Miyaboku alone has flowing through it that disintegrates anywhere outside of its climate. Naruto would begin training with this oil as he takes his hand and is about to touch the oil. As he does so, he feels his hand beginning to morph shape, which makes Naruto jump as he pulls his hand back before it goes back to normal. With Fukasaku telling Naruto that if he were to fully immerse himself in the oil, he'd fully transform into a frog. Naruto would be shocked by this as he then reacts and quickly rubs his hand as the oil would then dissipate. With Fukasaku then telling Naruto that their first training will actually begin with Naruto trying to learn about nature energy. Naruto would perk up as he listens, asking more about it, while the old Toad would then explain to Naruto about what nature energy is. Nature energy is the energy of things like plants and living animals around you. This type of energy can now combine with your own energy of your spiritual energy, which is what's used to make ninjutsu, as well as the energy used for your taijutsu and your physical movement, your physical energy. With Naruto now working on learning about nature energy, Naruto this time would have a much tougher time trying to actually use nature energy, as when Fukasaku actually gets on his shoulder to try and help him with what he used to do with Jiraiya by actually pulling the nature energy in for him, he would both get Kurama as well as another presence, even stronger. This presence would cause Fukasaku to see a pair of two silver glowing eyes, which would make him get pushed off of Naruto at such a high force that he slams into a tree. Fukasaku would be shivering as he felt the cold glares of something like a god upon him. Naruto would be confused as to what happened and ask what actually just happened, with Fukasaku saying that method won't work with Naruto, meaning that Naruto had to find what nature energy is all on his own. Naruto would train for 3 or 4 days at a time, with him still not being able to grasp it, as it feels like the energy just leaks out of his body. However, eventually, by him using shadow clones to master it, Naruto with his shadow clones would eventually get the hang of absorbing the nature energy. With Naruto now practicing by getting on top of those stone tablets on the spikes, Naruto and Fukasaku would climb up, with this exercise Naruto being a pro at. This is easy, Naruto would think, as he realizes that he can keep his balance perfectly set. This is rather impressive, Fukusaku would think, as without Sage Mode, most humans, their natural instincts are what prevent them from being able to do this immediately. Naruto's Ultra Instinct that I've talked about in previous parts, which has affected his normal instincts as well, has caused Naruto to have a hypersensitivity to even airwaves. However, for some reason, even though Naruto can sense this nature energy, it's rather hard for him to absorb, with him not knowing that Ultra Instinct itself is powered by nature energy. So whenever he absorbs it, it's basically just fed to the angel that's sealed inside of him already. Naruto himself would actually come up with a way to circumvent this, though, as he realizes that all of the energy is converging into his seal, as he feels the seal actually loosening, with the angel working on untightening it along with Kurama so she can release more of her chakra to control Naruto's body. Naruto would ask Fukusaku if he could tighten the seal using the key, which he would do, which would also annoy the angel as well as Kurama, who've been working on it. Naruto would then ask for another strange question. He would ask if Fukusaku could create another seal on him. Naruto would create a second seal on him, just above the seal he already has, as he would then focus on converging all the nature energy he gathers into the second seal he has on his body. This seal would take the nature energy and act as a sort of conduit which would store it for him. As he stores the nature energy within this, he would view it like a glass of water, as he pours it in without spilling too much over the edge, as it's perfectly balanced. This would be when Naruto finally awakens it. Sage Mode. The corners of Naruto's eyes would begin to change as an orange pigment surrounds them. As Naruto would open his eyes, suddenly a black line would be across them as he's accessed it, perfect Sage Mode. Fukusaku would congratulate Naruto on doing this, as he would then continue working with Naruto on keeping his balance, which Naruto's already a pro at. With Naruto now, instead of training on the Rasen Shuriken at nighttime secretly with Sage Mode, would instead be working on unlocking something else. As Naruto slowly unloosens the seal for the seal with the fox as well as the angel within inside of him, he would feel a rage of chakra stirring within him as he then close his eyes and enter the seal. After several days of training like this, Naruto has gotten a handle on using perfect Sage Mode now. Anyway, back on Sasuke's end, we can see Sasuke training with the Falcons, with his training being slightly different than Naruto's. Unlike the Toads having the oil that helps with absorbing nature energy, Sasuke would instead be diving off cliffs in his free time, with falcons surrounding him so he doesn't fall all the way to the ground. With Sasuke feeling the nature energy like streams of chakra through the air, with the falcon style of Sage Mode, with several days of this intense training, Sasuke would have, for one, lost any fear of heights he may or may not have had, with him also gaining the ability to access Sage Mode. The way he would have done this, as I've already mentioned, is through air currents instead of using oil, as well as him just taking in the air from the cliffside instead of being on the mountainside. With Sasuke having finished his training with the Falcons as well as Naruto's training with the Toads, the two of them would be heading together. Sasuke would then head to Mount Miyaboku as the Falcon, his summon, and would fly him over to Mount Miyaboku, where he would drop down with Naruto still working on training. Naruto would see Sasuke as he stops and gets up, telling Sasuke he's all ready to go whenever Sasuke is. Sasuke would nod, asking if Naruto's had been able to master Sage Mode, with Naruto closing his eyes for a second before opening them, with the red-orange pigment surrounding his. Sasuke would close his eyes as well as he opens them, with a blue pigment surrounding his own. I like the color swap, he'd say, with Naruto and Sasuke's general colors being flipped, with Sasuke's red Sharingan and Naruto's cool head and Ultra Instinct. Naruto would smirk, telling Sasuke that was unnecessary. Sasuke would sigh as he tells Naruto they need to get back to the Leaf Village as soon as possible. With both Naruto, along with his two elder Toads, along with Gamakichi and the three Toads, Sasuke would actually bring some of the Falcons with him as well, as the two would both at the same time use it. Reverse Summoning Jutsu! With the two pressing this jutsu down to the ground, the black of the actual jutsu itself would surround them on the ground as suddenly a puff of smoke would happen. Back at the Leaf Village, pain has already started his assault, as the village has just been destroyed by the almighty push, completely wiping out the village. With everyone screaming as they're being surrounded by broken buildings, Kakashi would have lost his life just as he would have in the original. Suddenly, we would hear Sakura screaming. As she shouts out, Naruto and Sasuke would suddenly appear on the battlefield, as a ginormous puff of smoke would explode out of nothing. With Naruto standing there along with Sasuke, both in Sage Mode, with Sasuke and Naruto both having different methods to maintain it. Naruto having left shadow clones behind him at Miyaboku, with Sasuke using his own method, which I'll get back to later. Anyways, the smoke clears. Naruto would ask, Sasuke, where are we? Can you see? Sasuke would close his eyes as he opens them, activating the 3 Tomoe Sharingan, with him looking around as he scans around the area, seeing different chakra signatures, before telling Naruto that this is indeed the Leaf Village after confirming Tsunade's chakra. Naruto would be shocked as the smoke clears, where he sees nothing but a crater of what used to be their home. Sasuke would now tighten his fist, as Naruto feels some rage bubbling within him. Naruto would tell Sasuke that they're going to beat these guys, right? With Sasuke giving Naruto a fist bump and saying, hell yeah. As Naruto and Sasuke would now be walking down, both of them have their sage garments on, with Naruto having the sage cloak being red and with the black markings on it, and Sasuke having his own, but his being blue with black. We would see the two of them walking down, as Sakura would be shocked she sees her 2 teammates from Team 7 standing there. They've gone really far past me, haven't they? She would think, as she sees the 2 of them, both powered up in perfect sage mode. With Pain saying that just because there's 2 of them that won't make a difference, their master Jiraiya had fought against them the same, and both of them will now fall as well, and they'll be taking the 9 tails. Sasuke would pull out his Kusanagi blade, as he tells him he won't let that happen, with him activating his Mangekyo Sharingan. Amaterasu he would use, as the Amaterasu would blast towards the 6 passive pain, with the first pain, the pain that's able to absorb chakra, would be absorbing the Amaterasu with the Rinnegan. Naruto would then rush in, as Sasuke would be supporting him from behind for now. With Naruto's increased skill in taijutsu, Naruto would use his ability in taijutsu to combat the Pains, with their first plan being able to take out the one who can absorb chakra. Something Pain doesn't actually know about in this time is that Naruto, just like himself, actually has the ability to sense every degree around him, meaning that Naruto himself also has the eyes in the back of his head. Immediately a Pain would be moving towards him, but Naruto would have sensed it himself, as he uses his right leg to kick out hard with an upper kick that would kick this Pain directly in the jaw, being the one that can create technology, sending him flying into the air. Sasuke, now! Sasuke would use one of his new Sage Jutsu as he creates it, his own long-range technique mimicking that of the Rasen Shuriken, but this time using the Chidori's evolved version. Chidori, 1,000 Falcons! Suddenly, a long Chidori would begin to spread from Sasuke's hand, as now that Sasuke can use nature energy, he can extend this Chidori as far as he needs to, by using the surrounding nature energy to extend it until it becomes long, much like a lance. Sasuke would jump forward as he slashes into the air, cutting the Techno Pain in half. With this Pain now falling to the ground in pieces, Sasuke would deactivate his Chidori as he tells Naruto to take him out. Naruto would create a enormous Rasengan as he then smashes down 2 Shadow Clones, pushing this Pain to the ground. Immediately, the healing Pain would then summon the King of Hell, which Sasuke would use Amaterasu on, deactivating immediately. Sasuke and Naruto's tag teaming would be annoying to Pain, as he would then use the almighty push to set the 2 apart. This would be when Naruto decides to get serious as he nods to Sasuke. Sasuke kicking up gear as he's now getting ready to use both Sage Mode and his Mangekyo Sharingan together. Naruto himself would also power up as he grabs his stomach and begins to twist it. This is when he unlocks the first seal, being the Angel's Seal. Let's do this, he would think. With a flashback to when Naruto was training in Mount Miyaboku, Naruto had been spending time talking to the Angel, which had been in the way of his progress. Naruto would have formed a pact with the Angel. Naruto would give over his body to the Angel during the fight for 1 minute. With this temporary unlock of the seal, Ultra Instinct would fully take over Naruto's body for what had been in many years, and Naruto would fall back into unconsciousness as Ultra Instinct fully takes over. The pigments surrounding Naruto's eyes, being red and orange, his signature colors, would have now swapped as the Angel's chakra is taken over, turning it into a dark black to contrast with the white, pure white of the Ultra Instinct. With a strange aura surrounding Naruto now, he would begin to pulse off his body, as Naruto's facial reactions, which had been filled with rage and anger, would have suddenly disappeared to Pain. His eyes would look hollow, almost like a machine, just like the corpses that Nagato had been using for his puppets. As Naruto would calmly walk forward now towards the Pains, Naruto would calmly pull his fist back, as he then pushes it forward very slowly. Suddenly, a burst of air and heat would come rushing from Naruto's fist, as a full-on force of nature energy and just pure strength would smash into the Tendo Pain's skull, causing him to go flying away, as he gets completely shoved into the side of the crater. With Sasuke and Naruto working on dispatching the other pains, they'd be putting up a fight, as they use the full capabilities of the Rinnegan to attack the two of them. With Sasuke taking on two of the pains, with Naruto taking on two himself, and of course the healing pain having gone off to help and heal the Tendo pain, well it could, it would have desummoned the King of Hell before resummoning it to get rid of Amaterasu. With Sasuke using his Kusanagi blade to fend off the chakra-absorbing pain, which had recovered, along with the pain that could summon animals, Naruto would be fighting the other two pains, being the human path along with now the Tendo path having recovered. With Naruto fighting against the both of them and Sasuke were fighting his respective ones, Naruto and Sasuke would actually being able to handle this pretty well together, with both of them overpowering pain, you could say dual-handedly. Naruto would be dodging every attack that Pain throws at him, with Pain even using the almighty push and Naruto dodging it. How did he dodge the almighty push, Nagato would be thinking, as Naruto's body would have bent over itself, flipping into the air and getting past the pushed barrier from the Rinnegan. This power, Nagato would be thinking, as he sees pure white hair and his eyes silver, would be overpowering the Rinnegan like it was nothing. He would think godlike, as he had always thought of himself as the closest entity being to a god because of the Rinnegan's prowess and power. But this is nothing, he would think, as Naruto's power is far beyond his in sensory capability and everything else too, with Naruto's chakra having skyrocketed to higher levels than Naruto was even if he had used the Kyuubi's power. In this version of events, Sasuke would be the one who'd be pierced by the chakra rods, as his Sage Mode would then transfer, and he would be able to sense where Naruto and Konan are. With Sasuke looking over to Naruto to see how he's doing, Sasuke would then tell Naruto and ask if he can handle things here, while Sasuke would go and try and find Nagato. Naruto would nod, as Angel still has a few 30 seconds left, and would tell Sasuke, "Get out of here, I got this covered." With Naruto now fighting off all four pains, with the four of them all throwing attacks at him, with him dodging at ease. At this point, all six paths of pain are ganging up on Naruto, with Naruto dodging every single attack like it was nothing. This is too fast. Naruto's speed is already far beyond light speed at this point, and his body is so hot from the Ultra Instinct that it's causing some of the pain's bodies to begin to burn up, as he can feel themselves melting. With Naruto taking on all six paths of pain with ease with Ultra Instinct, Naruto would decide to finish this off clean and quickly, and decide to attack. With a single strike, Naruto would easily slice off the head of the healer of the pains, who would now be taken out permanently. Naruto would begin taking down each of the pains with a almost mechanical-like movement, as he would finish off the Diva pain rather easily. "This is for what you did to Jiraiya," he would say, as Naruto at the very end would fall out of Ultra Instinct due to the raw amount of emotion he feels, as he finally takes revenge on the person who killed his master. "Rasengan," he would say, as nothing but a cold glare from Naruto would be as this pain would see, as Yahiko's body would be obliterated to dust from the Rasengan, thrust into his chest before he could even use the almighty push. With Nagato's final transmission from the chakra rods ending, Naruto would have become the hero of Konoha. With Sasuke nowhere in sight, Naruto had defeated all of the passive pain that had actually attacked the village. The villagers would be cheering, as the ones who had survived would have seen Naruto's overwhelming victory over them, with this being one of Naruto's first ever, seen heroics. Sakura and Hinata would both be in tears as they see Naruto fall out of Ultra Instinct as he falls to the ground. He now would be the first person running down the side of the crater to go help Naruto, with Sakura and Tsunade being there shortly after. Naruto would pull himself to his feet as he's almost out of chakra and says he needs to find Sasuke right now. Sasuke and Naruto would meet up, with Naruto chasing after Sasuke and having to access Sage Mode by using one of his other shadow clones, which would give him enough nature energy to keep him going. He would thank everyone who had come down to see if he was alright, but says he needs to meet up with Sasuke now. After he and Sasuke had exchanged eye contact, Sasuke would have used his astral projection ability, which we saw at the beginning of Shippuden, which caused Sasuke to be able to enter Naruto's mind. With Sasuke having used his Sharingan like this on Naruto, Naruto and Sasuke could have exchanged a message, with Sasuke telling Naruto about what he had sensed and that there was someone controlling these bodies, and asked if Naruto could take care of the rest of them while he went to go find him. Naruto should meet up with him after he destroys them, with Naruto nodding at this point. Back to the present, Naruto, with Sage Mode, finally catches up to Sasuke, sensing his chakra, as the two would then enter into the tree, where they see Nagato's body attached to that ginormous metal figure, with Conan staying there as well. If you guys want to see the next part for What If Naruto had Ultra Instinct, make sure to slap that like button, comment down below what you thought, and subscribe to the channel for more videos from me. I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.